not raining just yet, and if the sky isn't showing it, these waves definitely are showing that the storm is on its way. This area where the fire did burn for the most part this morning is about 40 minutes up the mountain, so it's pretty difficult for people to get to. It won't come off, so if it's taking that much time to come off in my hands, just imagine how much work this is going to be for crews today. But at 5 a.m. this morning, thousands of students filled this street for a St. Patrick's Day party. And there were so many here that they were spread out on all these properties, as you can see right here, the remnants of this morning's party. And with the mass of students, they then went on to this garage to continue partying, and the weight of so many students triggered it to collapse.
Samantha, can you hear us?
Hey Richard, I am in the front line of where the CUESTA fire is at. The 101 North is behind me about 4 miles. Santa Margarita is 1 mile to the front of me, and that's north, and that is not the way they want this fire to go. But unfortunately, around noon today, this is where the flames came out. Hot spots out of nowhere. Even a retardant line was just dropped, and then 3 hot spots right back here on this hill. 1, 2, 3. With this strong wind, it moved down, and that's what caused all of this to go up. And as you can see, there are still some hot spots. You can see right there. There's one. There's several over there. And there's actually a few back there. And just 30 minutes ago, a tree came down into what they have as their fire line. This is their fire line, and it's the only road that's taking them up to the rest of the fire. These firefighters are working very hard. The smoke is thick, goes up through your nose and down into your throat. So the feeling of, it's like a suffocation. So this is what's going on here. These hot spots, they're working on getting them out. You can see the firefighters are working on getting them out as quickly as possible, but they are calling this an active spot. Back to you guys.
People out there, and thank you so much for that report.
Dan, a lot of stuff is going on. We have food, we have wine, we have people, we have music. What else could you ask for in just one event? And there are gold medal wine winners. Really tasty food out here. You can just smell it in the air. The atmosphere is fantastic, but as great as this event is for our local community, half of the nearly 10,000 people that will be coming this weekend are not from the Central Coast. Different situation than we saw earlier today. I never saw active flames while I was here. I saw a lot of smoke blowing straight up into the air, which is a good thing, which means that fire was not moving, and not enough evidence to prove that Sherry's death was a homicide. Therefore, the judge could not rule out suicide. And the only people left on the scene are investigators and this engine, which was the first one to show up just 2 minutes after they got the call. Right here is that railroad that has already been transporting crude through the area, and this is where Phillips 66 wants to add that rail line terminal. Tell the depth in it, how quickly it burned, and the white ash with the retardant you can see on here shows just how hot it is. But this is what the issue is with the fire. You can see the ridge back there. There's a saddle. And for Lompoc, who had its Miguelito fire just less than a year ago, which burned over 600 acres in just several days. So when I talked to Phillips 66 today, they said they will not be transporting that type of crude into the Santa Maria refinery. Their crude will be more heavy, which makes it less explosive. But the neighbors I spoke to today say crude is still oil, which is still flammable. Earlier today are calling it perfect right now. But starting this late afternoon around 4, these waves are starting to hit max heights of 7 to 10 feet with 10 to 15 second intervals. It's really high water levels. And what this is, it's a mix of oceanography, meteorology, and astronomy. And it stems from an alignment of the Earth, the Sun, and the Moon. And it becomes so strong that it pulls this water to give us extremely high tides.
We find our Amanda Starrantino with a live report. Amanda?
Hey Dan, hey Jeanette. I am at Barrels in the Plaza at Mission Plaza in downtown San Luis Obispo, and I have to tell you, everything just smells so delicious here.
And Amanda is a figure skater. She's been, oh my goodness, who knew, Amanda? You said you were a figure skater. I didn't know you were really a figure skater.
So that's how big the pipe is, but the original leak could have been the size of the end of this pen. Absolutely tiny. Has 2 lanes now instead of 1, so that was nice to wake up to. What wasn't so nice and quite a rude awakening was this this road being blocked off to all drivers. I think he means maybe like Barbies. I know the Fire chief was checking this one out. He liked this toy.
Oh, like that toy?
Our police chief over here was a little jealous of this fire truck, but these are just some great examples of some stuff to bring out. We have Toys for Tots out here, we have the food pantry, and we have the Lompoc Fire Department. So come out, let's send some love out for this season and make someone's holiday a little bit more special. Back to you, Jeanette. Miss Doe, as she's called in court, explained her encounters with 40-year-old Brooks, and while she recalled all of this, of what they did back in July of 2014, the 18-year-old remained very calm and stoic while on the stand. And the jury, well, they had to witness videos that were allegedly Doe and Brooks having sex. And while they were watching those videos today in court, Doe and Brooks were in the courtroom with them. And the public, including myself, could only hear the audio.